We need to talk about Andretti Cadillac. On the 2nd of January 2023, FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem announced that he would be exploring the option of opening an expressions of interest process for a new team to join Formula One. Within 3 days of this announcement, Andretti Motorsport had announced that it would look to pursue the opportunity of competing in Formula One, and they would do so in partnership with General Motors under the Cadillac brand. Whilst Andretti's ambitions have been known for some time, it was the presence of Cadillac that caught everyone by surprise. But let's rewind a minute and explore the players involved in this venture. Andretti Motorsport is a titan in the North American motorsport scene. Owned by former Formula One driver Michael Andretti, son of 1978 world champion Mario, the team competes in IndyCar, Formula E and Extreme E. The team has produced 4 IndyCar champions, including the likes of the late Dan Wheldon and Dario Franchitti, and also won the Indy 500 on 5 occasions, the last coming in 2017 with former F1 driver Takuma Sato. Andretti have been looking to enter Formula One for some time. They were in advanced talks to buy the Sauber team, currently Alfa Romeo, but that deal fell through after what Andretti called control issues. It is also believed Andretti also tried to acquire Haas with little success. In 2022, Andretti submitted paperwork to the FIA looking to join the sport in 2024 under the guise of Andretti Global. The team also claimed that they had a deal in place with Renault for them to provide engines to the team. Andretti was seen talking to many within the F1 paddock, attempting to garner support for his venture. He was ultimately unsuccessful, and the FIA rejected the proposal, stating they did not want to increase the number of teams on the grid. The move was also met with resistance from some of the F1 teams themselves. Mercedes chief Toto Wolff and new Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur, then head of Alfa Romeo, were said to be the 2 main opponents, as they wanted teams that would add value to join the grid. In other words, Andretti needed an established brand in motoring. Gone are the days of the independent privateer teams, it seems. Thankfully for Andretti, that is what they got. Andretti's partnership with General Motors gives them the brand recognition required by F1 and the teams. With a company as powerful as General Motors wanting to come into the sport, and under the Cadillac brand, which is improving its motorsport pedigree, it makes their all-American bid seem almost too good to be true. So what do we know of Cadillac in motorsport? It has previously raced in NASCAR, but in recent years it has been racing in sports cars. From 2023, Cadillac will be competing in the World Endurance Championship in association with Chip Ganassi Racing, another giant in American motorsport. They are also racing in the 24 Hours of Daytona in a few weeks' time. This means that a jump to Formula One seems like the logical next step. Andretti and Cadillac seem to be a match made in heaven, and with the sport growing exponentially in the US, remember there are 3 US races in 2023, it makes perfect sense for Formula One to welcome this partnership with open arms. There are, however, concerns about this proposed entry. Some within Formula One believe that this venture is merely a rebadging exercise. There are question marks about whether or not Cadillac will be providing an engine, or merely a sponsorship name on a car with, if rumours are to be believed, a Renault engine, something Andretti partially denied. It's a rumour, it's not true. Cadillac will very much be involved in the manufacturing of the car. If we get in 2025, there won't be a new engine yet, so we would have to go with a formula that is used now. But in 2026, there are various things we can do with another engine manufacturer. It would not be a badged engine, because there would be intellectual property from Cadillac in that engine, so that is not a badged engine. Whilst teams like Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin operate under this sponsorship model, they have been able to do so, as they were taking over already established teams on the grid. There are also concerns about Andretti wanting to base his team out of the US, rather than in Europe, something all 10 teams on the grid currently do. Andretti are going ahead with plans to build a new factory for all of their motorsport teams in Indiana, and if successful with their entry, this will also incorporate the F1 team. Andretti have stated that there will also be a satellite team of specialist F1 engineers based in the UK. Back in 2022, Andretti said the following: "Eventually we'd like to build it here in the US. The first car would have to be farmed out, sort of like the way Haas does it now, and then eventually build our own car. My dream is to do it here, to have a true American car. We'd still have a big presence in the UK, but have the actual building of it here." Critics of Andretti have branded this plan unrealistic, claiming that not being based solely out of Europe is crazy. The final and biggest issue is in regards to everyone's favourite subject: money. Any new team entering the sport currently has to pay an anti-dilution fund of $200 million. What is an anti-dilution fund, I hear you ask? It essentially pays for any shortfall in prize money earned by the teams with the arrival of a new team. It essentially acts as an entry fee. It is believed, at least according to rumours and press speculation, that the fee is too small, and with the rapid growth of F1, the fee must now be raised, as even at $200 million, it is considered too small. The proposed figure is allegedly to be in the region of $600 million. Andretti made his feelings on this clear. It's all about money. First, they think they are going to get diluted 1/10 of their prize money, but they also get very greedy, thinking we will take all the American sponsors as well. It's all about greed and looking at themselves and not looking at what is best for the overall growth of the series. Many within F1 remained quiet since Andretti's announcement, but new Williams team principal James Vowles said the following about Cadillac and any new team coming in. "The truth behind it is that the sport financially is becoming more and more successful. Whoever joins in that environment effectively needs to bring with it the growth that is required in order for everyone else to be in a better position, or at least a neutral position, and that's been the statement from the beginning. There are a lot of lovely things about Andretti and about Cadillac. It just needs to have good understanding of how it will grow the sport, and in what way, and what the growth will be. So far, it looks like one or two different teams are warm to the idea of Andretti Cadillac joining the grid. Those teams are believed to be Alpine and McLaren. They also have the backing of Sulayem himself. In fact, the FIA president raised eyebrows with this incendiary tweet on the matter. So what is my view on all of this? Well, for me, it's quite simple. More teams equals growth, and more teams equals more opportunity for competition and more opportunity for drivers to actually get onto the F1 grid. We've seen a whole host of drivers do very well in the junior formula and not make it into Formula 1. Callum Ilott is one. Oscar Piastri very nearly fell into that trap, and you can maybe think of even Robert Schwartzman as a driver who was good enough to get to F1 and unfortunately was unable to do so. Also, I feel that perhaps Andretti Cadillac is the best option in town. An all-American team, American owners, what more could you ask for? And they could bring more American drivers with them. When, of course, Andretti were talking about their proposed takeover of Sauber, they would bring Colton Herta with them to join Formula 1. So that can't necessarily be a bad thing. And many of the IndyCar drivers are interested in joining Formula 1 as well. Pato O'Ward is another who has been linked with Formula 1 in the past. But that's not to say that there are other teams that aren't interested or other brands that aren't interested. For example, Hyundai are rumoured to be very interested in coming into Formula 1. They have just appointed Cyril Abiteboul as their new motorsport director, and you don't appoint somebody like that without having F1 ambitions. There's also rumours of a Honda return, because Honda always come back. Porsche are heavily linked to Williams at the moment, but that's still sort of working itself out just now. There's also the proposed interest from Calvin Lowe, the billionaire who is rumoured to be behind the Williams deal and is interested in starting his own team, though perhaps without a big brand, it's unlikely that he will get very far without that. There are, of course, new teams joining. We have Audi coming to the grid in 2026 when they take control of the Sauber group, and that promises to be a very exciting venture as they are bringing brand value and also bringing engines with them. And that will probably be where whoever gets onto the grid, it will be decided. Can you bring an engine with you? But for me, it's simple. We need more teams on the grid. It's been 10 teams for the best part of 5, 6, 7 years, and we need to change that. We need fresh competition. But I am also an older F1 fan, and I remember the expansion of 2010 when the 3 new teams that turned up, well, it was supposed to be 4, but USGP never made it. The 3 new teams really didn't bring a lot to the table. In fact, as they were known then in 2014, Marussia were the only ones to score any points. Of course, unfortunately, that was with the late Joel Bianchi. May he rest in peace. But we need more teams, and if these teams can prove that they are sustainable and can add to the long-term future of Formula One, then I really think that the teams need to get off their high horse and actually back bids. And for me, Andretti Cadillac, well, it's a no-brainer. Well, if you've enjoyed this slightly different video from me, then please do let me know in the comments, and I would love to hear from you on Andretti Cadillac. Also, if you could hit the like button, apparently the algorithm likes it when you do, and if you want to see more BaxtyB F1 content, it's very simple. Hit the subscribe button below. Until next time, guys, stay safe, and I shall speak to you all very, very soon.